Hey guys, today for Foodie Friday, we're making easy ribs in our foodie, all while having a whole lot of fun.
Check out those crispy bits. Oh, this is gonna be so yummy.
Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. I am Cris from recipes.crock.com, and I am here today for a Foodie Friday to show you a super easy recipe that we love to make in our original foodie, and that is easy ribs. You can do this a couple different ways, but I'm gonna talk to you about both of them. Or actually, there's 3 different ways that we can do this, but I'm going to show you the way that I make this the most, and that is I put a rack of ribs. These are baby back ribs. I've also used St. Louis style ribs in here, but I just grab a rack of ribs, and then to that I add at least a cup of broth in my pot. I'm actually using my stainless steel pot for my 8-quart here. You can use either the stainless steel or the non-stick. And because I'm using my 8-quart, I'm going to add another half a cup of broth. If you are using the 6.5 quart, you can probably get away with just a cup. I'm puppy sitting while I'm cooking this meal because Addie and Daddy are at karate. Excuse me. And so that's what you see going on over there. I'm trying to see if Ollie can help OB to behave, but now Ollie's not behaving, so we'll see what happens. Anyhow, to that, I just sprinkle Lowry salt on the ribs, give it a little bit of a sprinkle, and then I add a stick of butter. Now, if I were wanting to make ribs to maybe throw on the grill, yes, Ollie, I know you think this is a very good recipe, right? If I were making this to put on the grill or try to broil afterwards, what I would do is I would put this on under high pressure. Would cheese make it better? Here's some cheese. It'd be nice. It'd be nice. Okay, so if you want ribs that you can then put on the grill or put somewhere or broil where they stay together, you could cook for about 30 minutes under high pressure, 25 to 30 minutes, depending on how tender you like your ribs. What I really like to do is I like to make them come completely off the bone and shred up the meat and then add my barbecue sauce. And so in order to do that, I'm going to do 40 to 45 minutes. I'm going to do it 40 minutes to make sure, and then I'm going to let it 15 minutes natural release before I go ahead and then do the full quick release. And then that way it will be so tender that I can just pull all that meat off the bones and then mix in my barbecue sauce. And then if you want to do the foodie piece to this, where you can do the air fryer as well, you can crisp up the ends if you want to in the air fryer basket. But that's up to you. I don't usually do that step, but we'll do it today so we can see how it goes. So what I'm doing is high pressure for 40 minutes because I want tender fall off the bone. So let's do pressure high for 40 minutes. And I'll see you back here in 3, 2, 1. And we are back. I let this cook under high pressure for 40 minutes. And then I let it naturally release for 15. And then I pop the quick release. And so now I have in here super, super tender ribs. And so what I'm going to do is, because I have 2 pots, because I bought the stainless steel pot to put inside of this, and we'll put the URL or the Amazon referral link to the pot that we're using in the description down below, so those of you who want that. But I'm going to take advantage of having 2 pots by putting my regular pot back in there and putting my air crisper basket inside there. Now, just to let you know, I don't usually do the crisping step when I'm making barbecue ribs. I usually do it with my pork carnitas, but I'm gonna do it today so you guys can see how to do it. So what I normally do is I just pick the meat off the bones and put it in a bowl and mix it with barbecue sauce, and then we eat it as is. We eat it as pulled pork. We eat it over salads. We eat it however you want. Sometimes I drizzle a little bit of ranch over my own portion and have barbecue ranch. So you can do it any way. What you're going to want to do though, regardless, is you're going to want to be really careful because like I said, this is super tender, but it is also super hot. Now see how easy that's just falling apart? So in one bowl, I'm keeping the meat, and in the other bowl, I'm pulling the rib bones out. I particularly like to do it this way when we have kiddos eating dinner with us. It makes the ribs a little less messy, and it also helps kind of helps serve, make it last a little bit longer, not so much for the kids, but for everybody else, because I think sometimes when the bones are there, people don't always judge exactly how much they want, and so whenever it's all shredded off of there, I think sometimes that works a little bit better. But that's up to you guys. Like I said, if you don't want it falling off the bones like what I'm doing right now, I would cook it less time under pressure. 25 to 30 minutes. I usually do 30 because I like super tender ribs. But like I said, my favorite way is the way that I'm doing it right now, where it is just falling completely off of these bones. And look at how clean these bones are. And I'm very little effort's going into it. And all I do is just kind of smush it down in the bowl and get that off of there. And make this shredded pork. So Mikey's probably going to fast forward this part where I get the rest of this off of here, and then I'll show you how I do the basket. You make sure as you are finishing up that you check your pot. You will probably have little pieces that have fallen off in there. The other thing you're going to want to check as you are pulling the bones off is make sure any pieces of gristle that are still in there, you can kind of get that out too. Like here's a good example. Let me see if I can pull it. Right there's a little piece. That's just not pleasant to bite into. So I pull that out as I see it. And then I just shred this up. Now, this doesn't make tons and tons and tons of meat because that's kind of part of how ribs are. They're very, very yummy. But you have to make more if you want more than what you got here. So I have a bowl full. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my sugar-free barbecue sauce. This is my favorite. It is Ray's No Sugar Added Original Barbecue Sauce. It's made by the same people who make Sweet Baby Ray's. You guys can use whatever barbecue sauce you like to your own taste. I just coat the meat. And this is normally how I serve it. Just like this. However, I know that some people really prefer their ribs and or pulled pork with a little crisp to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my Foodi over to the Air Crisp feature, and I'm going to turn it up to 400 degrees, and I'm going to let it preheat just a little bit here for a minute while I continue mixing this. And then we're going to put this in that air fryer basket for 10 minutes, stirring halfway through. I'm probably going to put all of this meat in there, just so, because it's not tons and tons, but usually what I want is just a light layer across the air fryer basket, and sometimes I have to cook in batches if you want to do it that way. Or like I said, most of the time, everybody's tired of waiting by now, and we just eat it like this. So I'm going to go ahead and let this preheat until it gets just warm inside. Then we're going to go ahead and put it on 400 for 10 minutes, and I'll see you back in 3, 2, 1. And we are back. Okay, so I went ahead and I preheated this for probably about 10 minutes to get it nice and hot. So hot that whenever I put the meat in, it sizzled. And this was just the perfect amount to do a little air crisp, like I said, at 400 degrees. I went for 10 minutes. At 5 minutes I checked it and it didn't really need stirred, so I went ahead and did it for 10 minutes, stirred it, and went for 5 more. And I love how crispy these ends have gotten. It is just so yummy. That looks like it's been charred on the grill. I'm going to grab a fork real quick, give it a little taste. Let's see here. It's really, really hot. My goodness. I'll tell you what, guys, I'm kind of ruining it for myself. I kind of like the nice, quick, not doing the air frying step, but I'm telling you what, I had to do it for Foodie Friday, and it adds another dimension. Oh my goodness, I love that. I may have to do that more often. If you guys like this video, we'd love for you to give us a thumbs up. If you're not already a member of the Crock Posse, we'd love for you to click subscribe and become a member of our slow cooking, foodie loving family around here. If you'd like notified every time we upload a video, click the ding-a-ling. That's the notification bell down below, and that will tell YouTube you want to know every time we upload a video. But whatever you do, we hope you laugh often, eat good food, and speak life. Bye, guys. You were so good. Good puppy.
If you want to see the latest, click on the left right here. If you feel like subscribing, click on the right, my dear. And if you think we're funny enough to send us money, click the